Guess who's got a new order from Sweetie Nail Supply? Yes, okay, I know. This was Boxing Day though. I couldn't help myself. I kind of overdid it with the polishes. Black Friday. So I wasn't going to do anything else because I buy all of this. And then this magnet powder that I really wanted from Bonniebee that was out of stock on Black Friday, it showed up in stock just in time for the Boxing Day sale. And like, what am I supposed to do with that, right? Except get it. And then since I'm getting it, I'm going to take a look at some other chrome powders because now I'm, you know, on a powder kick. Anyways, here we go. Okay, so all this is powders. Powders, and more powders. Chrome powders, magnet powders. A whole bunch of awesome powders. So I had planned to open this and check them all out. And then I'm going to swatch them because you can't really tell a whole lot about powders when they're like this. Well, some of them you can, but for the most part, it's kind of tough. And more powders. And this, I think, was a gift. Let me get this out of here and we'll see. Yes, indeed. I did not order this. This was a gift. So this is Nordic Deer Multi-Balm Special Hand Care Line. Enhances moisture level with various therapy effects. Well, that was very lovely of them to include this. I will have to try this out and see what it's like. Now, the majority of the powders I got were Blanc Blanc. And that was simply a matter of price points. And they do a really fabulous job with their photographs on the site. The pictures that Sweetie has up for Blanc Blanc to look at and see what the different powders are going to look like, they're really good. They really give you a much better idea of what it is that you're ordering. Whereas for some of them, either the price point is kind of like really out there, or there's just not enough imagery on the product to kind of get an idea of what it's going to end up looking like. And a lot of these chromes and stuff, I feel like it's really hard to know whether you already have one that does that effect. I have to apologize when I go edit this if it's been focusing in and out, because unfortunately I had a setting on that I shouldn't have. So what I originally went into the site for is this item here. It's the Bonniebee Magnetic Powder, and it looks like so silky smooth. So then if you mix this into any Korean syrup gel polish, you should have an exquisite cat eye polish that you've just turned it into. So I'm really fascinated to try this now that I have so many Korean syrups to see what kind of effect, and if I end up with basically every color of cat eye magnet I could ever want just by adding this to it. And of course, this is a silver magnet. And then this one was on there as well, which was a gold magnet. And again, it's clear and glossy magnetic powder that you add to your syrup gel. I'm sure there's other uses for it though, but that's just off the top of my head. And then you can create a cat eye effect in any polish that you have that's a syrup quality or a jelly quality, anything that's not opaque cream. So yeah, so this is what I went in there for. It was back in stock just in time for Boxing Day. And then I was like, well, I may as well pick up this one while I'm at it. And then I had Sweetie points. And then I've always been fascinated by the Blanc Blanc chromes. And I'm just a sucker for chromes and the cool things that they do. Cat eyes and chromes, that's it all the way. So we got one here with a green iridescent. We got a blue iridescent. We got a red iridescent. This one's a purple iridescent. This one kind of greenish looking there. Oh, I don't know what it is. Okay. They had really cool names on the website, but they're not on the packaging, it looks like. So yeah, a little bit of green in there, maybe, maybe not. Oh, this one here's like a flaming pink. And there's a gold. Oh, there's a super blue, but the powder itself is really peachy, so that'll be interesting. This one here is like lavender, but the powder is actually really lavender, so that's neat. This one here, oh, I think this is like this really cool red burgundy one that I was seeing. And then this, I'm pretty sure, is just a gold chrome, like a typical gold chrome, not a Aurora iridescent changing one, right? So yeah, again, it's really kind of tough to tell them in the packaging because they do so many changes once they're on either clear, black, or white. And, you know, the color comes out one way, but then when you shift them, because they're a duochrome or a iridescent Aurora, however you like to think of it, they will change and it'll be different. So really the only way to do it is to test them out. So I'm gonna make up a bunch of swatch sticks for everything I need here and do some sampling and see what these are all gonna look like. Okay, I spent about over 2 hours, putting together swatches that have black, white, and clear strips so that we could see what everything is gonna look like over a different surface, because we know chromes are completely different depending on what you put them over. So as you can see here, the majority of the products I got were from Blanc Blanc. The reason I kind of stuck to one brand was really price point was the first thing for choosing Blanc Blanc. The price for these ones across the board seemed to be a little less expensive. And the other thing is that it is really hard to tell with chrome powders, for me at least. I don't know if that's the case for everybody, but for me to know if this product is the same as one in a different brand, because the chromes are hard to notice unless you're seeing them in person, or unless the company has done really, really good product photos to take away any guesswork. So I stuck to Blanc Blanc so that I didn't end up accidentally buying duplicates from different brands that were the same color. The Bonniebee, I got 2 of them. These are a glossy magnetic powder, so we'll put those aside for now. And then I got this Dino Pure Silver, and that's a chrome powder, but not a shifting iridescent kind of one. So we'll start with the Blanc Blancs, and I think these 2 are not chrome, are not iridescent shifting ones. I'm going to start out with the solid, not iridescent ones. So this is Blanc Blanc Smooth Gold Nuance. And of course, there's quite a few different ways you can apply them. We've got your average eyeshadow sponge, these silicone applicators, which is what I'm going to try now. Some people use makeup sponges, but I'm not a big fan of doing it that way. Unless, of course, I'm working with a liquid chrome. Then you kind of have to use a makeup sponge if you want it to do any good. Ooh, that's going on quite nicely. Now, one trick, of course, is to wipe your nail with alcohol if you find that it's not really adhering very well. Ooh, you can really tell that I missed a patch of top coat there. It's not going to stick at all. Oh, that's funny. All right. And then, of course, once you've got it on really well, going in with a soft microfiber towel to buff it right in. That gives you that really nice shine. Look at how well that does over white. Not the hottest over clear. And over black, well, you can really see the black. And then you can always give it a soft wipe with alcohol. Go back in and really, really rub that in there. Beautiful. So I am noticing a little bit of the white underneath and some more heavily filled areas than others. So for me personally, I would cover this with I would primer my edges, base coat it, top coat it again, and then go in with another layer if I wanted a much more consistent look. But typically you're not using these necessarily for full coverage nails to get it absolutely perfect. You're usually doing them on accents, lines, squiggles, things like that, where it's probably going to do much better with a single coat. Next one up is W66 Strange Attraction. And I'm pretty sure that this is just a solid silver. It's kind of bright and sparkly. It's very pretty. I'm going to do this one with the eyeshadow brush. I don't have much sticking there, so go in with alcohol wipe. Try that again. This almost comes across as like a glitter. There, look how well it's sticking now quickly. As much as I'm absolutely obsessed with chromes and love them, I really find them challenging to work with, not just even for getting the effects I want, but all the stuff. Like, it's really, really, really hard on me to have chrome flakies everywhere and the little bits everywhere. Like, I'm constantly feeling the need to go in there and clean it all up every second, every time there's a bit here or a bit there. I just want to get rid of them. I don't like them on my gloves or on my table or anywhere else. Now, of course, these swatches might be a little more tricky for the chrome, seeing as how I top coated them days ago. So the nail is not warm coming out of the light, things like that help make chromes kind of stick better. So we're not doing any of those good tricks with these today. We're simply using cold swatch sticks and hoping for the best. That's doing quite well over the black. The other colors are kind of leaving A little to be desired there. Okay, I'll stop fussing with it and leave it there. That silver's doing okay over the black. Over the white and the clear, it's not doing anything for me. But that's really, really pretty in the container. It's a very sparkly silver. And again, swatch sticks for this aren't the most ideal for getting an idea because again, you would be probably using this over a little squiggle accent or, you know, something that you've drawn onto the nail. And that's going to have quite a bit different coverage than a full nail swipe, right? Since we just did the Blanc Blanc silver, I'm going to jump over to the Dino silver and just see what kind of a difference there is. Ooh, that's a bit whiter than the last one. Let's see here. They're both really glittery. Look at the difference though. This one's a very white silver. This one's a very silver. Ordering this one, I think it did say that it was a white silver, which is what I was looking for. Look what a difference that did. Just a quick wipe of the alcohol, and then I go back in and it filled in those empty spots just like that. Oh wow, I'm really liking this one. Like it just is putting such a shine on it. It's probably hard for you guys to see it because of the glare from the lights, but it just made it like white, silvery, shiny. Again, you can see the top coat missing. I have to keep an eye on that. It's swatch sticks, so I'm usually like, you know, kind of rushing through them, but still. Do another quick wipe. Yeah, this one really responds well to the alcohol wipe for sure. Yes, this is a silver, pure silver, but it's really got a lovely, like metallic white glossy finish is how it's looking. I really like this one. Up next we have W49, which is Sangria from Blanc Blanc. Again, not an iridescent one, I don't think. No. And there may seem like there's not a whole lot in there, these jars, which really there isn't, but a little goes a really long way. So, you know, when you're ordering your chrome powders, some will be way more expensive because they might have twice the product than other ones. And then that's like up to you to decide, do you want that much product or do you want to, you know, start with a smaller amount and see how it goes? This one's not acting happy yet. I'll give it a wipe. There we go. Much better. Oh wow, that color is beautiful over the black. Oh, when I was looking at it this way, I was like, yeah, the white and the clear, yeah. And then you get over to that black, and that is sweet. Look at that red. This is definitely an over black chrome. All right, so I have been struggling to try and get this chrome to stay on here, and realizing that there's a different video I should do before this one. I really should go through my top coats and figure out which ones work best with chrome because not all do. And you could end up struggling like this, fighting and fighting and fighting with it to try and get that chrome to stay on there nicely. And it's not you. It's not this product. It just could be your top coat. Your top coat is just not that chrome friendly. So I think I am going to pause in this video and hop out and go do some samples with my different top coats to see what's going to work best so that I can recover these swatch sticks so you can actually get a better idea of what the product's doing. Because I feel bad. I think this should be working much better than it is for some of these. So I'll be back. All right, I am back. So if you haven't seen my other video, which I left this one to go and do and will be putting up first, I was struggling. I did some testing on different no-wipe top coats to see what worked best for using chromes out of the ones that I happen to have and to see what kind of a difference there is. And I learned a few things while I was over there doing that video. One is that, just in case you haven't gone to watch it or you're not interested, one is that yes, top coat can certainly make a difference, although this is something we already figured. But it wasn't just that. It was very much the applicator that I was using and how much pressure I was using to put them on, all those kinds of different things. So the no-wipe top coat that I have used on these, while it does work, it was kind of like the middle out of the 9 that I have as far as how good it is for putting chrome over. And yes, the chromes do make a difference. Some very much work better than others. So it could just be a case of this particular brand of chrome doesn't like my particular brand of top coat. I am going to put a new top coat on all of my swatch sticks and use the one that I noticed worked very well and see what kind of a difference that makes. All right, this now has a new layer of top coat on it from Gaudy Nails. There's a little bit of stuff on it simply because I could not get the chrome underneath off. So the stuff that was already on there stayed on really well. No amount of rubbing was getting it off. So I left it there. And then when I coated over it, of course, there was a few like lumps and bumps due to the stuff underneath. And would you look at that? It is sticking like instantly so much better. Like so much better, guys. Just like that. What a difference. Like I was really struggling. Do you see that white? Like it's just covered now. And I was really struggling earlier and being like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And there you go. I switched to a different top coat. And it's not that I couldn't have got it on there with the other top coat. I could have tried all kinds of things. Different curing times, you know, heating it in the lamp, whatever, all kinds of stuff. But that just went on like so much easier. Almost instantly easier. I'll give it a quick alcohol wipe and see what we do. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. No time at all. And it's been, what, a day or two since I started filming this video. So if I recall, I was trying to get this chrome on here and was getting frustrated and feeling like it wasn't going to happen very well. And again, it's not the chrome's fault, guys. Right? I didn't want to be like, okay, this Blanc Blanc chrome is not doing it. It's not a good chrome. No, because that's not going to be the case, right? It just needed something different. So here I have W66 again, where I couldn't get it really to stay either. So I've recoated in the Gaudy, and I'm going in with this again on my eyeshadow applicator. Give it a wipe. Oh, did you hear that? Squeaky, squeaky. I don't know if you picked that up, but I sure did. And now it's sticking. Squeak, squeak. There it is. So hearing that squeaking instead of it just gliding across, it's actually gripping. It's actually sticking. So this one, I'm finding it's still very grainy. Like you can still, over the white, you can certainly still see all the graininess. A little bit over the clear, you can see it. Not as much on the black. So I would think that this one definitely would probably take another coat to get it nice and solid. But what a difference. That's sticking there. Much better. Much, much better. Next up, we have W35 Dream of Hairtail. And I've redone this swatch stick with the Gaudy. And we got no grippy there, so wipe it with alcohol. And there's the grip. Boom. Oh, this one's beautiful. Is that a blue? Yeah, like it's white with a blue, like a, not blue, but like that ice teal blue. That makes sense. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, over the black, it gives that really cool teal blue color. And then over the white and clear, it's mostly just like a reflective white almost. But as soon as you get it over that dark, you've got like reflective white, but with a teal in there, icy teal. That's gorgeous. All right, moving right along, I have recoated all of my swatch sticks. This here is W50 Blanc Blanc, and it is called Lavender Bloom. And I do enjoy my Gaudy Nails top coat for encapsulating and going over things because it's so thick. So I tend to use it like over top of 3-dimensional stickers or different things that are raised but don't necessarily need to be fully encapsulated with like a builder gel or whatever. So it's very thick. So it was kind of annoying to do for these swatch sticks. It would be nice to find something that's not so thick that would be easier to use for this brand. Look at that purple. Ah, it's exquisite. So on the black, it's like a super electric, vibrant purple. On the white, it gives that yellow tone underneath and then super vibrant purple over top. And then same on the clear, it's just not quite as noticeable. Look at that though. Electric purple, I love it. I love it. This next one, W51, The First Time We Met. And I'll share a little something with you guys. I will be doing this in a separate video, but seeing as how it is currently underway, I will share my story. I haven't been feeling the best lately and wasn't going to do this video, but I really wanted to get it done so I could play with these chromes and see them. But the reason I wasn't feeling my best, bear with me for a moment, guys, so you can hear this, is that I went to the dentist and had fillings in. And it did not occur to me to make sure to let the dental office know ahead of time that I have an allergy to henna. And I had read all about it. I knew that, dental issues, I'd read mostly like denture products, and like this was just a filling, and I'd had fillings before. Like for years I've had, odd filling here and there and never an issue. So it didn't occur to me to say anything, even though I knew I should have after the fact, but I forget these things easily. Let's just pause a minute to see how gorgeous this purpley pink is. Oh yeah. So this one here, like a super hot kind of magenta pink over black. Over white, your shine is a super hot pink, but when it's not that, it's kind of a green. I think there's a green tone there, and same with over the clear. It does a green shift. That's really neat. The next one we have is W68 Fireball. I'll go back to my story, and I leave the dentist. Everything seems fine. Then the next day, after seeing as how the dentist office is closed, I start noticing swelling. Extreme swelling. The entire like gum area all around where my filling was put in is completely swollen with not exactly hives. They were welts, big, huge welts all inside my mouth, starting all around the tooth area on my gums, moving up in my cheek area, all through my cheek. And then by the next day, it was all through my left side of my mouth, up in the roof of my mouth, all underneath my tongue. So you can imagine that I'm starting to kind of get a little unnerved, thinking, what if my tongue swells up? What if my throat closes? Like, is this something I do need to be concerned about? Because I do not know. And so I check in with a medical professional, and they do not know, because henna allergies are not very widely known about or understood or any of that kind of stuff. And the doctors are like, well, it took 24 hours before anything happened. And I'm like, yeah, that's how my contact dermatitis happens too. I don't walk out of the nail room with a reaction. It's the next day when I haven't touched nail stuff for 24 hours that the reaction starts, right? And it's like, oh, it's from yesterday when I was doing nails and wasn't careful. It never happens right away. So it wasn't at all surprising to me that my reaction is happening the next day, and it's getting worse and it's getting worse. And it wasn't a huge deal. I could swallow, I could eat, everything was okay. It was just a little unnerving in the beginning. And we're pausing again to look at this beautiful, beautiful chrome. This is gold. Yes, that's very, very gold. And over the white, it's like gold and blue. That's so cool. It's like the gold sheen, but a blue, it turned to the white to a blue. And same with the clear. That's really cool too. I'm not familiar with that one either. I haven't seen anything like that. I'm excited. Back to my story. It's getting worse. The doctors are going, huh? This is weird. And I'm lucky that I already have prescription allergy medication in the house. Really heavy duty stuff from this allergy with nails. So I'm like, that's okay. I'll take my allergy meds. I'll, of course, be very, very, very cautious and careful. And if anything gets scary, I will run to the emergency. This one here is W69, Stare at the Ocean. So long story short, guys, it went away. It's much better today. There's still a little bit of swelling in my mouth. It still feels funny to eat. I now have like skin sloughing off on the inside of my mouth from where it was damaged from like inflaming and stuff. And then the skin kind of dies off. It's the same thing that happens on my hands with the contact dermatitis. Because of the swelling, it like kills the top layers of skin and it kind of like comes off and comes away. So I'm okay. It's all good. Not a big deal. But what about next time? Right? So then I call my dentist's office and I'm like, so this happened. What do we do? Like, what? And of course the dentist is like, I don't know. We don't really know much about that. And it's like, okay, all right. This is something that I think you guys should know about, but they don't. And it's a fairly new thing. So I guess I get that. But now I'm struggling trying to get in touch with an allergist, because what it comes down to is What about my next fillings? Is it going to be too dangerous to do? Should I now be looking at getting an EpiPen in case the next time I have a reaction to my nail products, I end up like, could it end up really bad? I don't know. And so I'm older, guys. I'm like, you know, nearly 50. And so I don't have my whole entire life ahead of me for it to get worse and worse and worse. But if you're really young and you develop this allergy and you still have your whole entire life ahead of you of things that you need to do and fillings that you need to get and whatever might happen, this could be extremely detrimental. Do not get this allergy, guys. Stay safe out there. Nail products are amazing and fun. And look at this chrome. This one is incredible. So that's what it comes down to. Now I'm quite nervous. I'm quite nervous about the next time I'm going to have a allergy from working in here, because it's going to happen. I can be as careful as I possibly can. But at the end of the day, it still occasionally happens because you can't see the stuff. It's invisible. Like whenever I get it, whenever I get a reaction, I have not known that I touched something to get it. It's just one of those things. I know that, oh, I must have been a little bit more careless than usual. And so it has not been detrimental to this point, but it could be. And I don't even know if the allergist or the dentist will have any other answers for me. So it's kind of like a wait and see situation. Wait and hope for the best. And nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that. That kind of sucks. There wasn't a whole lot of information about it on the internet either, but it's still so rare. Like, yeah, we're talking about it a lot in the nail realm, but people are only considering, oh, well, now I have to be careful with nail products. Oh, now I can't touch my nail products. Oh, I have to give up nails. It's not just about nails, guys. I was getting fillings. So when I said to my dental office, oh, does this mean I should just go back to the good old metal amalgam fillings, which would totally suck, but all right then. And their answer was, we don't do those anymore. They're not safe. So my dental office does not do that. Do I now have to search out one that does? Like, it's a very, very strange situation, guys. Next, we have W25 Bali Snorkeling. I think, is that what we're doing next? Yeah, W25 Bali Snorkeling. Looks blue. Looks like we're going to be doing blue. I don't know how I'm going to fit this into the video, but it's important information to have because I see it constantly on Instagram and people do not take this seriously enough. They just really, really, really don't. And even me, I was always like, oh yeah, it means that whatever, maybe I can't get dentures. Oh yeah, maybe someday if I need a hip replacement, it's going to cause an issue, whatever. But it's far away, so you don't really think that much about it. And look at me, I continue using my nail products because I love them and I don't want to give this up. I don't. It would be the end of it would just be devastating to my world if I could no longer do any of this. And so I need to be proactive to try and make sure that I can continue doing this. And so does everybody else out there. Because it may not happen early, it may not even happen later, but eventually it could happen. And just because you don't have a reaction this time or next time, or, you know, you decide, oh, well, I'll pick up an airbrushing kit because I've been totally fine. I must not get an allergy. It can happen anytime, anytime. So there's another one. This one is more blue and then definitely gold. Next up, I've got W41. If I remember correctly, there were like two options for this. This is Jeju Sunset or Jeju Sunset. And there was like a brighter one and a not so bright one or something like that. And I chose to go with the brighter one. It was like more dramatic or something was the effect. Whoa! Okay, yeah, there's an effect. Dramatic is right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, and it's like blue to red. That is so cool. I love this one. I haven't completely been sold on like that gold look that gets that gold shift that's in a lot of them over the white and the clear. So when I see something like this that's so cool and dramatic and bright and like it doesn't have that gold in it, the shift is blue. The other color is blue. That's so cool. I love that. Oh my God, that's stunning, guys. And the other one of the same color, it just had, I think it was just not as dramatic of an effect. It was like the original one and then they came out with a brighter one or something of that nature. Oh my gosh, I can't wait until these are top coated. They're gonna look amazing. Next up here we have W70, Iceland Shaved Ice. Yeah, see this one has this has an amazing like indigo purple blue color. Oh, and there's like, I feel like there's flecks of like pink and purple in there too. That's interesting. Here, let's brush this and see if they're still there. I'm gonna burnish it. Yeah, they're still in there. They're smoothed in pretty good and buried, but yeah, it looks like there's purple and pink bits in there. Yeah, and you see it even better on the clear one. Well, I can anyway. But yeah, do you see how over the white, it gives that yellow gold effect. That yellow effect I don't know, it always kind of turns me off. I'm trying to embrace it because a lot of the chromes are like that. Same with a lot of different magnet polishes and stuff. I don't know, lately there was a lot of magnetic cat eye polishes that were coming out that had that effect in them. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, trying to get on board, but. All right, last one for the Blanc Blanc. This is Oh My Baby. I'm not quite sure what to, I'm not quite sure here with this one. Over white, I'm seeing pink, definitely. Over clear, I'm seeing pink. Over black, am I seeing green? Is that what I'm seeing? Yes. Yes, that's what I'm seeing. Oh, yes, green. Crazy green, like Christmassy green. That's wild. I love what the pink is doing. I'm not so sold on the green, but that's just because I'm not a big fan of green. Well, real green anyway, like teal greens and aquas I love, but Christmas green, not so much. Huh, that is so wild. They're like super green, super, super vibrant Christmassy green. And then you get here and yeah, you have a green sheen when you turn it, but it's so pink. It's such a pretty baby pink. That's really neat. Yeah, I don't think I would use this over the green necessarily. Or I don't think I would use this over black necessarily, unless I'm doing a cool Christmas nail. But over white and clear, that's a really cool color shift. Huh. Next up is the Bonniebee magnet powders. Now this is not a chrome. And I know because I tried using it that way. It does not work that way. What you do with this is you mix it into a polish to create a cat eye polish effect. So I'm sure these swatch sticks aren't necessarily the right way to go about this. I don't know, probably using different colors would work better. Not sure, but I'm going to go in with some base coat here. And we're just gonna make us a little cat eye and see how it looks. No idea how much powder is necessary. And it'll be interesting. I actually have some old powders from like, I'm sure it was AliExpress. And I'm talking like, I don't know, almost 10 years ago that were different colors of cat eye powders that I don't think I ever tried. That might really be interesting to check out these days to see if they work. I don't know if oh my goodness, look at that as it's mixing in. So this is the clear glossy gold magnet. And this is with a clear base gel. Ooh, it feels like I didn't need maybe anywhere near that amount of powder, which would be nice because it's not like I used a ton, but if it doesn't take a lot, it's gonna go a long way. And of course, with all of the syrup gels and stuff that I have now, the idea is that I should be able to, you know, put this into any syrup gel and create a magnetic gel out of it. Looks like I made way too much. Not surprising at all. Now this feels a little bit runny and like the color isn't very consistent through it, but that might just be a matter of like ratios, right? Figuring out the ratios. But look at that. Ooh, can you see what that did there? It like turned it all black kind of thing. Really curious. I don't know what it would look like in a color. All right, I grabbed this color here from my Jinbei Sunset Collection, number 158. And just, I'm curious to see what it's gonna look like with this color added in. Yes, I wondered if it would completely overpower the color. And it did. So the gold overpowers your color. Yeah, the color is basically gone. I mean, there's still a little bit in there, and maybe I'm just going on way too thick with it. Again, you're gonna have to play with your ratios and see how much, whether a base coat's better or top coat's better or how much to put in there. But that gold effect is most definitely there and looks quite amazing. That is quite a lovely, huge gold. flash right there. So it'll be interesting to play with this and kind of figure it out, because I'm not sure. Not sure how we would figure this out. Last one here is the clear glossy magnet powder. And this one I did get with the intention of mixing it into different colored polishes. So I've laid out here a little of the Jinbei syrup gel, as well as a blue glass gel, to see what kind of difference there would be. And again, I don't know how much powder to use. And my hopes with this is that I can turn all of my glass and syrup gels into a possible cat eye, if that's what I'm looking for. So we'll see what it does. So first the red syrup. Oh, maybe I'm using way too much powder, because look at that. Again, the color disappeared. Maybe I'm using way too much powder. Okay, I took a little bit out of this blue one to hopefully not... Oh, there we go. That's a little better. It's keeping its color. There we go. Let's see what this does. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. So it muted the color a little bit, for starters, but once we hit it with that magnet, what happens? Super, ooh, look at that, guys. Super smooth magnet with that color in there. And there we have our beautiful super smooth magnet gel. Now this, I feel like hopefully I could put in a little more magnet, because it's a bit on the light side. Like, it's totally there. You can see it. Ooh, 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 ooh. But yeah, a little more magnet might be a good thing. Let's see if I can add a little more without it turning into something different. So I mixed a little more in there, and it certainly did start affecting the color of my gel polish, right? It's not so much that bright blue anymore now. It's really gone to like that icy teal color. You can see that there. But it's still holding the color. Yeah, and wiping it on, it's still holding the color. It has changed it a little, because it's got that like icy metallic look to it now. But it's still there. Now let's see. Once again, what happens? Ooh, okay, so when you take that away, you still have your same color. It's just as vibrant as it was before. But once you hit it with that magnet, there, that magnet is a bit stronger now. Look at that, eh, black? And there you go, cat eye. Oh, look at that. So yeah, again, you will have to play around with those ratios to find what kind of hits it best. But that most definitely does the trick, exactly what I wanted. So maybe the gold would too, if I was like way less with it and using a glass gel instead of a syrup. Maybe it needs it to be that much clearer. I will play with that some more and see. Okay, I made up a new mix with that same blue and the gold, and I put such a tiny amount in there. Now, again, you have to be careful with your colors, because this has now turned it into like a turquoisey. It added like a green tone to it because of the gold. But I'm hoping it's still going to be really cool. Let's see if it works. Yes. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. I got it. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so excited. Okay. So very tiny amount of powder, guys. Like such a tiny amount. And there you have it. Beautiful blue, crystal blue. And then bring up your magnet, and you've now got this amazing magnetic gold shift on there. That looks so cool. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. That's impressive. Oh, wow. That's really thrilling to me, because I like the look of that. It's really neat. And I wouldn't have expected that at all. That is just gorgeous, guys. Look at that. Crystal blue and gold. Crystal blue and gold. So here it is done again with the Jinbei syrup gel. And that's the syrup color. And then here comes the gold. Now I don't know if the effect isn't quite as good with the syrup as it is with the glass gel, because the syrup gel has a little more color to it, a little more opacity than the glass gel. But it certainly does do the same effect. You just have to play with it a little bit to check out your color and how much color opacity there is in your gel. But it works. And you just have to use the most minuscule amount imaginable. So it's going to last you forever. Everything's top coated and there is just too much yumminess here to even be believed, guys. Okay, this is going to be an in-depth kind of view and comparison of what we've got going on here. So I've kind of separated them into my own little categories. I'm starting off here with the Dino Pure Silver. And I loved this. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So it is, ooh, on a white background there. It's looking incredibly silver. But if I take this away and go dark, so the white and the clear have a very, very pure white silver kind of look. The darker it gets, it starts to lean the slightest bit teal. So it's like that icy teal color. It's beautiful. I have been really looking for a good one like this. It makes me think of the powder I always wanted to get from Alexa, which was their, oh, I can't remember what they called it. I think they just called it teal. And it's very much reminiscent to me of that because it has zero yellow hue to it and it's super silver with a very lovely hint of teal color to it over black. It's really cool. Sorry guys, I live in the north. We've had nothing but snow for weeks and weeks and weeks. So today I'm filming with the sound of snowblowers in the background because that's my only option. Next up, we have the Blanc Blanc Smooth Gold Nuance. This is a really, really cool, beautiful, smooth gold chrome. That's going to be incredible for accent stuff. I was really, really, really thrilled with this. I've got quite a few gold chromes and none of them quite have this nice of an effect. So I'm really thrilled with that one. Next up, we had Strange Attraction from Blanc Blanc, and this one was not doing it for me. So it's a like gunmetal metallic kind of silver. And, you know, even with the different top coat and techniques and everything else, I did get quite good coverage for it, but I just wasn't loving the look of it. Like, it seems like it's a very spotty silver. I think you would have to coat it over and over again. Yeah, I don't know, maybe there's an effect or a look to it that I'm kind of missing, but compared to the rest of these, this one was not doing it for me. That one was a pass. Then we've got the Sangria from Blanc Blanc. Oh my gosh. Okay, actually all of these are now going to be Blanc Blanc. And this is just to die for. I love this. I love this so much. It's just got, like, the color is just so incredible. It is such a bright, like, berry burgundy that I absolutely love. And I have tons of polishes in this kind of color. Some are like metallic, some are glitters, all kinds, because this is one of my faves. But I don't know, this chrome just does not hit the same as like any of my polish colors. So, and I haven't been able to figure out, like, I'm pretty sure there's a sparkle in there. I wasn't sure if it was just like stuff that I got in it because there was so much powder everywhere, but I'm pretty sure it's got, yeah, like, look at, you can see hints of like purple and pink kind of popping out of those sparkles. So those were the like straight kind of colors, right? It's not solid colors, but more straight up colors. And that Sangria and that Pure Silver from Dino, I would buy over and over and over again. Those ones were a huge hit for me. Okay, so next up we have, these are my not so favorite out of everything that I did, or everything that I've got here. Not that I dislike them by any stretch, but not as favorite. These three, it's that yellow tone that does it for me. I don't know why. I'm not a fan. I mean, I love the color shift and stuff, but that yellowy gold look, like, it feels like it looks dirty to me. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just does not go over well for me. But when it goes over nails, if you don't see that color, then hey. Or in some cases, it will look good, right? But for my taste, just seeing that right off the bat kind of throws me off. So these two are W70 Iceland Shaved Ice and W50 Lavender Bloom. The reason I'm doing these two together is that they're almost the same. Like, so close, guys. The Iceland Shaved has, like, you can see it possibly. I think the camera's picking it up. There's like purple hints to it, which is weird because the lavender you would think would have more purple. But the Iceland Shaved Ice has, like, yeah, these purple and blue flecks almost in it that you really have to get super close to see. And there is the slightest color variance. The Iceland Shaped Ice has a teal undertone in the shift. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but when I shifted in the lights with my eyeballs, the Iceland Shaped Ice has this teal hint to it, whereas the Lavender Bloom has a purple hint to it. Now, you really have to catch the very perfect lighting to see that, but if you're just glancing at them under standard lighting, maybe that is catching it on camera. Under standard lighting, they look the same. When you play with them and shift them enough in the light, then you get the teal kind of glint from the Iceland Shaved Ice and the purple glint from the Lavender Bloom. These two, you may want to pick one or the other. Or you may want to get them both. On these swatches, it looks like that, but who knows, once you, especially if you were to do a full nail, you might notice a big difference if it was a full nail over black or something. But that's my assessment on those two. I was like, oh my goodness, they're so close. Could have done with just the one. Then here we have Bali Snorkeling, which is W25. Now this one has a really nice purpley, icy blue kind of shift. Like over the clear, it's a very light purple shift. You can see that. Very light purple shift. Over the black, it does have a light purple shift, but it kind of also settles on a very icy baby blue. This one's really nice. I like it. But again, it's not as yellow as the other two, right? It doesn't have quite the same yellow. Well, it looks like it on the camera, but in real life, it's a little less harsh of a yellow tone, but it's still there for sure. It's just a tiny, tiny bit less than the other two. But I really love this color shift. I really love that super pale, like usually every time you see purples, they're like super bright and vibrant, like, you know, the way these kind were looking. But this is such a pale, pale pastel-y lavender hint. And then to have that kind of icy blue shift, it's really cool. That's a neat one. Then this one here might really go for some people. I really love the pink shift. I really love that pinky color. And I don't mind that it shifts to a bit of green, depending on what I'm doing. That might look cool. That super green over the black though is like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. Like, I guess, again, if I'm doing Christmas nails or something like that, that would work for really well. But just, you know, off the cuff thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to use this. Like baby pink and green. Oh, you know where this would probably work right now perfectly is Wicked. Wicked is everywhere. It's giving me Wicked vibes for whatever reason. That green anyway. But still very cute. And this is, sorry, W67. Oh my baby. And there it is. It's very pink powder. Very pink powder in there with very green shift. So here we have W35. In the container, it looks just like a silver. That's all it looks like. This is Dream of Hairtail. And it reminds me somewhat of this pure silver from Dino, where it has a very white silver look, very silver white quality, but this Dream of Hairtail is leaning way more with that teal color. So the pure silver has a hint of the like icy blue teal color, and then this Dream of Hairtail has quite a bit more of it, but it still looks silver, right? Like if you're first glancing at it, you're like silver, but if you're taking a closer look, you're seeing that like teal, icy blue, baby blue kind of look. W69 is Stare at the Ocean. And this is like almost a peachy powder. Yep, it's a peachy powder. And then it shifts to this really cool blue. Again, that like icy teal blue. This one being a lot more noticeably, it doesn't have a silver quality to it anymore. Now it's got that very vibrant icy teal blue color, which is super pretty. I'm really liking this one. And the clear and white color, instead of having that yellow hue, that gold yellow hue that I'm not a fan of, this one has a peachy hue, which I'm liking a little more. And it works really well for me with that teal color. The peach and the teal is really kind of nice. They complement each other, and that looks pretty good to me. So I'm liking this one. Then we have the First Time We Met, W51. And it is purple, purple, pinky. Magenta, purple, pinky. And so even on the clear, it doesn't really have any other shift besides the purple. It's got a little bit of that. It's almost like a yellowy, greeny color in the clear, yellow, greeny, blue. I don't know how to say it, but it's not any of those colors. It doesn't look yellow, it doesn't look green, and it doesn't look blue. It looks kind of like a mix. I don't know if you can see that. Like this one's very yellow. This one is looking more greeny blue than yellow. So, and that magenta is really quite nice. It does really well over the white. I like that. Yeah, it flashes like after the magenta flash, it's kind of a bluey green, I would say, or a greeny blue, more green than blue. All right, now the ones I'm really excited about. I was loving these. So we have W41, which is Jeju Sunset or Jeju Sunset, and your powder is very blue, and your flash is like very red. And actually, this one was one that I like better than the next one. I love this one. I can't wait till you check this one out. This one I'm excited. I'm thinking about this for snowflake nails, like snow nails. So the thing about these two is that they're blue. That clear quality over white and such is very blue, and I like that. I really like that. I'm excited to see what that's going to do. I think because I don't think I've ever had any chromes that have a blue on like in this way. I think they've always had the yellow or whatever. So yeah, I really like that. I'm excited for that. So they both have pretty much the same blue undertone. The Fireball looks like it's a little darker. Yeah. All right, you can see that. There we go. Yeah. So the Jeju is like a pastel aqua bluish, and the Fireball is more of a light primary type of blue. And then the Jeju has a flaming red, like starburst red, like sunset red, right? Yeah, that makes sense. And then Fireball, it's like gold with like a reddish undertone, but very, very gold in comparison. So it does have a reddish or an orangish reddish undertone, but it's very gold compared to the other one. But these two are my favorite, and I'm really excited to see what they are going to look like. All right, so that was it for the Blanc Blanc. Now, these Bonniebee magnetic powders. Had a heck of a time. So I started out and I made stuff that didn't seem to work. So like this was just clear top or clear base coat, I think I used, and the magnetic powder. And when I originally did it and cured it, it looked like magnet. I could see it. Now it's kind of still there, but it's not shining. It's not looking magnet. It's not looking good. So I was like, what the heck? So I kept playing with it, and you just need the most minuscule powders, like grains of powder to do these. Because if you put like, you know, a little teeny tiny scoop, it doesn't work right. So here is the gold with a clear. Here is the gold mixed in with a blue jelly, a blue glass gel. And this turned out incredible, guys. This is so cool. I'm so thrilled with this. So it did change my color a bit from being like a straight up crystal blue to a tealy turquoise, but that's because, you know, the gold affected it, right? There's that yellow tone in there that's going to affect it. So you have to keep that in mind when using the gold, that you're mixing it with colors, and it is going to, you know, have a cause effect on the color. But it was still so neat to be able to do that. And I think, yep, I used it on a red syrup as well. And you can say the same thing. I wasn't loving it as much with this color. It looks kind of dirty like this, right? And then the gold. So it looked way better with the blue. I don't know if that's because of one being a transparent gel, like an actual glass jelly gel, and the other one being syrupy, but I would have to do a lot more experimenting with them to see. But this product looks like it's going to be phenomenal for use. I can see so many uses for it. Was definitely worth the pickup for sure. And then of course the silver as well. And it worked so well with, again, I initially mixed it way too thick, but with just a couple of grains of powder mixed in, it turned my crystal blue jelly into a beautiful cat eye. Now again, it did mess with the color a bit, so it didn't have that super bright, brilliant blue. So what it's going to do, I can see, is it's going to probably, I'm going to make an assumption here, kind of pale your colors and like make them into a bit of a pastel kind of a look, just because the silver powder is diluting that bright, vibrant color. So That's my guess, is that anything you put it into, it's going to end up diluting that color a bit and making it a lot paler. But hey, that's okay. Just keep that in mind when you're doing stuff with it, because that's amazing. I have got just endless amounts of glass gels that it means I can now add either of these magnetic powders to, and all of these can now be magnetic polishes or used as a magnetic polish. That's so exciting, guys. So, you know, if you don't have a lot to invest in getting all kinds of beautiful magnetic gels and stuff when you want this super silky, smooth look, this particular type of magnetic, then if you have glass gels, invest in glass gels or jelly gels or whatever it is you want to call them, and get yourself, you know, a nice little collection of these. Not only will you be able to use them for jelly and translucent looks and such like that, but you pick up something like this, and it was not that expensive. I want to say $12, $18 Canadian for this. Yeah, add like literally a few grains of this to it, and now you've got cat eyes. Any kind of cat eye you want. So this will be so much fun to play and experiment with and see, you know, what other kinds of mixes I can make with it and what it'll do with other gels besides just completely transparent glass gels. So, but this is a way to make your dollar stretch. Absolutely, for sure. It'll go a long way. You can buy just one collection instead of two. So that was a long one, guys. That's lots. There was lots of info there to cover. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this was really informative for you. I hope this helps out with your shopping choices when you're trying to decide, you know, what to look at for chromes. Some of them can really be similar, so it's tough to tell. And my recommendation would be, like, stick to one brand if you can. Not because I'm like brand exclusive in any way, shape, or form, but because it's hard enough not to get really similar or duplicates in the same brand. Never mind if you're mixing brands and saying, oh, this one looks cute, this one looks cute, this one looks cute. You get them home and compare them, and they're almost all exactly the same. They're just from different brands. And it's just because you're kind of partial to those colors. So that's me. That's what I do. So yeah, I'm trying to be smarter about it. And if I stick to one brand, then I'm less likely to end up buying all kinds of duplicates that are all the same from different brands. So thanks again for watching, guys. Hope this helped you out on your nail journey. And as always, until next time, don't forget to love your nails. Bye.